Hi, today I would like to share an idea that I'm working on to collect some feedback. I would love to hear your opinion on this. At Strumenta, among other things, we provide parsers. Uh, we build some parser for certain languages and we license to clients. We have been doing that for quite a few years. Before that, we were building custom parser on request. But after a while, given that people ask certain parser again and again, we moved through this model. So we build a parser and license it to several clients, which I think is beneficial for everybody because it's not like having a good parser is a competitive advantage. It's what you do with the parser. So it's convenient to get a parser that is already good because it's been used in other projects, has been tested, it's been evolved, and so on. So unless there are very specific needs and custom requirements. But typically, this is the case with what comes after the parser, not with the parser itself. And so we have been providing parser and was reflecting on what kind of innovations we can bring, not only on the technical point of view, because technically speaking, we have our parsers for a while based on our open source library, the Starlazo family. Technically speaking, we have an evolution with Starlazo being retrofitted to be built on top of LionWeb, an open source specification that we contributed to with other language engineering experts. But besides these technical aspects that make it innovative, I was thinking, how can we make a commercial offer that is innovative, and what is a way in which we can provide more value? And reflecting on this, I came up with the idea of what I call the Universal Parser. And, I am a developer at heart, so my first reaction whenever I have an idea, I start writing code. Now, I resisted that and tried to present this from the point of view of someone who could benefit from this, a potential adopter, a client. And so instead of writing code, I wrote a landing page to present the idea. I mean, of course, it's an idea that I already know that we can implement with the technology we have. So it's not like I really only thought about the commercial problem and not the technical aspects, because you cannot fight your own nature. But I spent some time reflecting on how to present the idea, how the user will be perceiving the idea before implementing. And so I built this landing page because it forced me to put in the shoes of the potential buyer. And so we wanted to specify that this parser is universal in three different ways. It's universal in the sense that we want to provide through the same API the possibility of parsing multiple languages. So nowadays, maybe you can parse Java code and SQL code using different parsers, but they have different APIs. They return objects that have a different formats. You cannot invoke the parser and process the result in the same way. So we want to change that and make something that is universal. Same API, access to basically multiple parsers. But also access to these multiple parsers from multiple languages, because what is the problem? Today, if I want to parse Java code, there is a parser for Java written in Java Parser, a project that I contributed to, that you can use. That's great. But what if I want to parse Java code from Python or from TypeScript, or from C#. And this is true for most parsers. So in most cases, they are available from one single language. While we would like to build a collection of many parsers usable by many different languages. So you see, there is a combination of two dimensions: the language that I want to parse and the language from which I want to invoke the parser. And we want to satisfy all the combination. And finally, this parser can be used for all sorts of use cases. Now, parsers are a little bit tricky to commercialize because they are not a solution. They are a component to a solution. Typically, I want to examine my code base and find out some fact about my code base. Or I want to migrate my code base. Or I want to document or visualize or refactor my code base. I want to do many of these things. And for all of these things, I need a parser, but for neither of these things, the parser is enough. It's a component to the solution. Now, I think it's important to create a parser that is already prepared to be easily used to serve all these purposes. Maybe have some sort of connectors to integrate with other technologies. For example, nowadays, many people want to use parsers to structure information about the code and feed it into some LLM, maybe to generate documentation or for other purposes. So an integration with LLMs could be useful. Other people may want to extract this information and put it in Neo4j to run some sort of analysis. Other people may want to extract it into JSON or XML format, and many other things. So the idea is that if you have a set of parsers that all have the same infrastructure, we can build connectors to different technologies and build the connectors essentially one and enable all these use cases for all the different parsers. So these are the three aspects that makes the parser, let's call it, universal. And there is a number of languages that we plan to support, a number of languages for which we want to provide bindings, supporting integration with certain tools, and give the possibility to use that through an API that we will host with local libraries that we'll use and that behind the scene will call these external API, or for certain use cases, it's necessary to provide an installation in run on-prem. So this is a little bit the idea. And our goal is to provide the infrastructure that people can use to build amazing stuff. And in this sense, parsers are enabling technology that could be perceived as boring for some people that needs to solve some problem, right? For us, it's exciting because we build parsers, so we love it. But for someone else that wants to solve the problem of documenting code, for example, building a parser is a cost, is a nuisance, is something you have to do, something you're not great at doing, is something that will cost you time and money, and so it could be easier to buy it from us. We will provide something that you're very good at providing, and you can take it and do your own amazing things, starting sooner and spending less. So that's a little bit the idea. Providing the language engineering infrastructure to enable people to build great things. And this is based on our technologies that we develop and use for many years at Strumenta. So it's based behind the scene on the Stalazo framework. It's also leveraging the power of LionWeb and the LionWeb ecosystem. So some open source specification that we contribute to writing. And so this is a little bit the idea. So this is just a landing page that I put together to reason a little bit more on the idea. We have already the building blocks to provide these. So I'm looking forward to see if I can get any feedback and refine this idea and put it to test soon. So moving from our, let's say, normal parsers to the idea that in some way was in the back of our mind for many years, and now we are trying to formalize it, clarify it, and put it into Word and share it with the world and see if someone cares. So thank you, and I hope to hear back from you. Bye.